Hello, everybody. Hope you're feeling. Hope you're feeling fine. Hi, guys. So I'm live on YouTube now. So if you want to join, this is the best time for you to go active on YouTube. I can't pick up any request now. I promised I will be going live on YouTube, so I'm able to set it up. It was quick. I was able to set it up. So if you want to join the calling with, you want to learn how to call with your with photo mechanic and also edit briefly with your Lightroom. So I'm walking through a full video. I'm walking through a full wedding on YouTube right now. The link to the YouTube. Bro, now you shoot my pre-wedding now. Hi, good evening. It a blaze. So if you want to join, the link is on my bio. If you click on the link on my bio, the last link. If you click the link on my bio, the last what, I don't know how to put it now. Yeah. So click the link on my bio. You see, subscribe to YouTube channel for free classes, and we are live. We are live as we speak. So if you want to join now, is a better opportunity. So, all right, guys. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is John Leko, and today we'll just be working briefly on photo mechanic, and also be editing some few pictures in Lightroom. It's going to be a very, very fast class. It's going to be a very, very fast class. So I implore you guys to join me. And another advantage of this class is going to be I'm just trying to increase the quality of my video. Okay, so it's going to be a very straight up class. I'll be calling a full wedding. People on Instagram, you need to join me on YouTube. The link is on my bio. I'm calling through a full wedding. This is the first time I'm opening the wedding, and I'm just going to be editing. I'm going to be selecting out of the 1,000 pictures I shoot at the wedding. I'm going to be selecting the ones I am going to be using, the ones I'm going to be editing, I beg your pardon. But the software I'll be using for this project is called Photo Mechanic. And as I earlier said, Photo Mechanic is... Okay, don't follow me. Is it? Yeah. So Photo Mechanic is one of those softwares that essentially help you pick your pictures faster, call your pictures faster. Is way faster than Fast Viewer, and is also way faster than Lightroom by every metrics and measure. So what I'm doing today is going to be calling through those pictures, and I will be selecting out of all of them. So I'm going to just kickstart, and I'm going to loop you guys in. All right, so this is the interface. This is my interface. This is the first picture. Now, as you can see, obviously this picture is a little bit overexposed, but that can be easily corrected in Lightroom. So if I see the expression on their faces and it works, I'm going to run through the selection. So I've started calling now. Basically, I'm a heavy shooter, so I'm just going to be comparing and contrasting on which is which. Guys that are here on YouTube, on Instagram, you need to go join me on YouTube, so you'll be able to see my screen. I'm sharing my screen on YouTube. Okay, so I'm picking this picture. I'll pick when I press 1. If I press 1 on my keyboard, you'll be able to see. Let me just keep dock set. Let me just go to my dock settings quickly. I just want to be able to, let me just make it very small. Yeah, so we can have a bigger screen on my dock. That's good. Let me go back to... So I'm set now, I'm done. So I'm just going through the pictures. So when I click one on my keyboard, so I have set my keyboard shortcut. So when I press one, it's going to be red, and you can see the red at the bottom here. You see I've clicked one on this picture at the bottom part here. You can see the red. So I'm just moving through those pictures like that, and I'm telling you, probably just discussing why I'm picking what. So I'm deselecting this particular picture because now if you look at the eyes of the husband closed his eyes in that picture. Going back, what is happening? There's a mistake, there's something going on, I don't know. So this is not allowing me to. Okay, so I think I'll fix that. So I'm just trying to zoom in so you can see what I was talking about. The husband closed his eyes in this picture, so I'm not going to be picking it. Then the next one is, so I think I'm back now, guys. So let me just, yeah, so next is, okay, now this picture is good. Husband is trying to remove the ring. I got a couple of that. You see, I got like 5 of those pictures. If you're joining me on Instagram, kindly go to YouTube. The link is on my bio. Is the last description on the link on my bio. So you see, so I think I like this one also. I'm picking that. I'll keep on moving. Now the exchanging rings there. Though there's a problem with this here, but then that can be removed either from Photoshop or from Lightroom. If you can see this, that can be removed from Photoshop or Lightroom. So I'll pick one of those, but let me just look for the best one. Here the 2 rings are showing, so I pick that one. Then here I try to take the picture of the husband. Yeah, here is looking at the bride, so it has a good picture. Then I got a full picture of the bride also. I mean, the picture where we have the bride and the groom exchanging, in the picture also exchanging the rings. This is the time for the bride to do our thing. So I started from wide for her. I'm picking that. I went a little bit close on the bride. I picked that. Then I went on the groom. But these are regular event pictures, so they're not like the best. They're just very casual, not like the best of pictures. However, these are memories that we just need to keep. Just shooting from the back, just to have a little bit of background or foreground on the image. I will just pick 2 of that. I love this one. There's a lot of expression. I love this one. Oh, that's my bag. You guys can see my bag in the background. But then I'll find a way to remove that. I'll just keep moving. Okay, so here they're kissing. I like that. They did it again because they thought I didn't get it. But I mean, I'm a fast shooter. I got it. It's going to be a fast calling process, as I told you. Photo Mechanic is pretty fast. It's one of the fastest system, if it's not the best raw calling system out there. I love this handshake. Yeah, so here they're signing the document. What I did with the light here is a little bit strange because I turn off the flash and I use the light coming from the window, because my mind on this picture was to shoot it in black and white. I mean, to have the pictures in black and white. Yes. So now, yeah, I did the same thing here. I'll be using black and white for those pictures. Now they're taking turn. Then the wife is signing now. Look at your wife. Yeah, that's it. I think that's the picture we're gonna pick. They're a bit dark. If you can see, they're a bit dark, but let me just change my view. I usually love this picture. Pen on paper, hand on hand is a way of signing agreement. Maybe it's just my thing. I don't know if there's another person who does that. Now the husband is just trying to be funny here, which makes sense. So we got the staircase, which was nice. So we took some pictures. I'm removing that. I'm not really sure I like the pictures from the staircase because they were a little bit cliche, like regular, nothing specifically creative. But I'll just pick few because I mean they saw me shoot them, so it's going to be strange if I don't give them result of that picture. Yeah, I like this one. Looking at your bride. Please, can we see the pictures? So if you want to see the pictures, you need to go to my YouTube channel. The YouTube link is on my bio. Don't forget to thank them. Oh, somebody just gave me a somebody just bought a badge. Thank you very much. That is on somebody just got me a badge on what's the name now? Oh, timestamp. Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So if you want to see what I'm doing right here, the pictures, the full picture of what I'm doing, you need to go join me on YouTube. The link is on my bio. I'm saying it again. Link on my bio to view. Let me just type it here. So YouTube guys, please give me 1 minute. Link on my bio for YouTube view, for screen view. I wish there's a way that link on my bio for screen view. YouTube link. YouTube. Why is it saying YouTube byte? YouTube link on my bio for screen view. Then I'm going to pin that comment. Pin comment. So I won't be able to address them anymore. So guys, I'm back. I'm just scrolling through the pictures now. I'm trying to peek. I like this picture. They're both smiling. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I kind of like this picture, but it's a bit strange. But the angle is a bit strange. I love this kind of pictures. I mean, shoot-through pictures are always almost very nice. I love this in portrait, and I have one in landscape. I have this in landscape. I'm going to pick that too. I love this one. There's a lot of love in that picture. Yeah, there's a lot of laughter. I'll pick one of those two. Now I love this one because there is, if you see the composition on this picture is like we have one line like this, then one line like this, then one line like this, then one line like that. So they are right in the middle of the composition. So I'm going to pick that one because it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, so up next, oh, I like this one. They're not looking at me. So now we're going to a more creative area of the shoot where I have creative ability, or yeah, author's right, whatever they call it, or mini boss point of view. I don't know. Again, it's been a minute. I left literature class. I would have loved this picture if they were not looking up. Would have made more sense. But I don't know why I told them to look up. Anyways, I was skeptical. It wasn't going to make sense. I love these pictures particularly. I love the reflection on the table. That was why I told them to come do it. And I love the arc. It's more like natural composition. If I could crop this picture right, it would be beautiful. If I could crop that picture right, it would be beautiful. So I just keep going. But I took a lot of them. I took a lot of pictures. So here I've changed my white balance. If you guys notice, I've changed my white balance here from warm. I changed it to flash. From auto, I changed it to flash. Then I asked them to change their pose here. I love this pose, especially if you see it's going to be like a water at the bottom part here. So I love that pose. I'm going to be picking one of those pictures. No, don't forget, when they were leaning on the table like this, I picked one. I picked just this one because the wife, there's a lot of memory in that. And if you look at the bottom part here, you see marriage in progress. Quiet, please, which make a lot of sense. It's marriage, and I was able to get that in the frame. Makes a lot of sense. So I mean, when you're shooting, also you need to be able to look at your environment and also use the elements that are available in your environment to judge what is working and what is not working. And note, I'm the only one shooting at this wedding. There's no assistant, so my light had to be put somewhere, and I had to manage the shoots, get the composition, get the everything straight out of camera. Because there's no assistant, it's a little bit dicey. I picked that picture in error, so I'll press 0 to remove that. I love this one. They were both laughing and it was genuine. Just keep going. So this picture in particular, I was trying to get something very nice. I'll pick this one, but though the composition is wrong or was wrong, but I think I can get it better in crop. I can crop crop it in post. Then I did a shoot through from there. There was one I was really hiding, and I wish, okay, so I think I can remove myself in if you can see me through, if you can see me here, you can see my lens there. If you can see my lens there, I will just keep going. I'll keep going. Oh, someone said the sound is very low. Zainab, sorry. I think, is it better now? Just let me know if it's good now. I'm just saying the comment. I'm sorry. I'm trying to increase the volume. Is it better now? Just let me know if it's good now. Zainab. Okay, so they have to take picture with the witnesses. I'm just going to be picking few ones. Yeah, I mean, they are witnesses, and it's just same star, same picture. I just busted through. So now I'm taking the groom's portrait alone. But when I'm taking groom's portrait like this, first thing I used to tell them to do is, especially if we have room, we have a lot of space, I usually just tell the groom to take a walk. So two kind of walks you tell the groom to do. First is walk towards me directly, and you interject that. Then you tell them to walk away from you. Then secondly, walk vertically across the camera. So I take that process, but when they are working, I give them different actions to do. For instance, if you're walking towards me, look around, smile, look at your shoe, check your wristwatch. Then I get that process like that. So this is like the set of pictures I'm going to show you in a bit. So now I told the husband to walk towards me with a lot of finesse. So he didn't get. So now I'm not going to pick any picture from there, because this was me trying to get him in action. So I love this one. If you see this picture now, it was more natural. He's now getting into it more. So I'm picking that one. Up next, yeah, thanks. Okay, thank you, Zainab, for coming up. So if you see, this is now, yeah, it's getting more into it now. No, I don't like that picture. I don't like the way his suit jumped up. Yeah, that was almost nice, but I think I did it again. Now I told him to walk back to the stairs. Then I took more pictures. Yeah. So this one is going to be a little bit of behind him. Then we did it again. Now you can release his jacket and do some. Yeah. Now I love the swag. If you can see that, you see, once you tell them to do it twice or three times, they get into the action and it becomes more natural. Yeah, it's a bit robotic, but then we use that. I take that picture. Now when it got to the floor, he bounced well now. I like the way he pocketed his hand. Yeah, can you see that leg stretch? Beautiful picture. If I had gone a little bit low angle on this, would have been fantastic. But man, it was really cold outside, so I guess my brain wasn't working well. But you know the J. Okay, now we had to sit. We sat down. Yeah, just change. I told him to sit. I was just the one changing my angle. Then we moved to the bride. Simple pose for the bride. The best thing to do is just to make sure when you're shooting a wedding and you're trying to pose your bride or the groom or both of them or the couple, it's best you start with the most simplest kind of pose. It eases them into the process rather than giving them some badass pose. Try with a very basic pose. Now, if you try with a very basic pose, it eases them into the posing mode rather than you just forcing it. So first is cross your leg, hands on your thigh, yeah, and smile. That's it. So I'll pick that one. She tried to modify it here. I think it's nice. So I'll pick that one too. I just changed my angle, told her to turn her head towards me. Yeah, yeah, now the next thing is she's going to repeat the same thing I told the husband to do. Just walk. You see, and don't forget, I'm using one to pick, so I'm color coding the pictures as I pick. As I go through them rather. So look back, twist, do that walk. Now I'm going very low. Now she's walking towards me now. Yeah. Now I think I like this one. Now, if you check my background, I try to avoid people as much as I can because it's going to take me a little bit of time in Photoshop to remove the people in the background if I want to anyways. Now we got this very beautiful telephone boot or port, so I thought to shoot with them. This was my idea. I wish I could share the BTS with you guys, but it was beautiful. Yeah, so lean on it, look away, cross your leg. Now the reason why crossing leg is more important for the bride is it makes them look elegant, and naturally if you cross your leg, there's this stance it gives you that curve and makes you a little bit more edgy, so you have that curve and give you a little bit more side to your pose. Yeah, so if you have any question on YouTube or on Instagram, people on Instagram are not even seeing the video. If you have any question, please leave me a comment. I'm going to reply. Or so I'm still just scrolling through and I'm teaching you. I'm just telling you what was on my mind when I was posting these pictures. Yeah, so here you see what focal length are you using for the portrait shoot. Here usually when I'm shooting portrait, I do 85mm 1.4, and there's nothing more, nothing else. 85mm 1.4 is what I use. So here you see when you get one pose, try to get as many as possible pictures from it. And once you get a good pose for your bride or for your groom, what you need to do is for you now to move around. So don't stay in one position and take the picture, because you don't know the angle that will work better. A lot of times we take those pictures and we see it on our LCD screen and we see, wow, this picture is beautiful. But when you blow it up on a bigger screen, you get to see that some few details are missing. So what I do is when I get my couple to do one pose, or my bride or my subject to do one pose, I make sure I take it from different angles. So if you see this same pose, then I change my angle. I took it from the side. Yeah, but now the beauty of this now is you can see those lampposts in the background. Just give it a little bit more detail. I mean, throw a little bit more detail into the picture. Okay, this happens sometimes. So I'm going to close my fast draw viewer. I will open it again, guys. Just give me a few seconds. I don't know why this happens sometimes, but it is what it is. I'm not going to update. I'm not even trying to update. So I mean, this is how you open it. I open my fast draw viewer. Then the next thing I'm going to do is come to my 2025 February Balumi, and yeah, that's the wedding. When you double click on it, then the next thing I just go to the last red I have on my picture. That's how I know which one I'm working with. Then you double click on the picture to open another layer, and that's it. So I got the full version of this one, which is beautiful. So the next thing, I told her to check her ring, but I'm not sure I love that picture. But we just pick one of it just in case. Then lean against the telephone booth. I'll pick that one. Kind of liked. So this one, I love it. Santander is showing in the background now. So I thought that would work, but she's taking a very huge leap. But that didn't make that work because she's working like a soldier. That was why that work didn't work. The work did not work. Now here she's feeling very cold. Then I'm trying to shoot through the phone booth. You guys saw what I'm doing there. So I'm picking this one. I kind of like the picture. Check her leg out. She's crossing that leg. You can see the two heels. Then you're also looking at her face. Beautiful. I can do a lot with this particular picture in Lightrrom, and I'm going to show you guys in a bit. Okay, and I love that there's one, yeah, her eyes were opened. I love this in portrait, so I picked 3 of those actually. So now we got to this picture. She personally had this idea. It wasn't my idea at all. If you have any question, you can pop it up in the comment section or in the chat box on YouTube, and I'm going to attend to it. She had this idea that she wants to hold just a flower with a bouquet on her head. Then I thought we can get this very natural arc here, then we went to that door, we got the hack, then we took this picture. So it's going to be very simple, nothing like, just very plain and simple. So I tried here, I was just trying to accommodate these two lampposts without accommodating too much of room. So you have it just a little bit at the edge of the picture, which make a lot of sense. So I picked that picture too. Someone said, how do I want to become like you? That's all I want to ask. You can become like me. You can only become a better version of yourself. And I'm also still striving for perfection or moving forward to it. They say, the path of the righteous shine brighter and brighter to a perfect day, says the Lord. So until I die, I'm not perfect. I think death makes all of us perfect, if that makes sense. But back to photography. Yeah, so I just changed the angle now. Now we introduce the man of the hour. I pick one of those, then we introduce the man of the hour. I'm still getting the two light bulbs, or the pole. Are these bulbs, whatever, in the background, which makes sense. I can't, no, I kind of like this picture, but yeah, so I will delete this one and I will pick this one. Oh man, then I think I'll do this one. I'll probably remove that one later. I told you guys I love when they walk. I love when my couples walk, and the reason for that is because it makes it more natural. So here, what I told them is, let the husband lead. So let the husband be a step ahead, then the wife a step behind. So this, we just make it a very natural walk, leading a bride. Said, yeah, now they make joke out of it, and they're just laughing, which make a lot of sense. I'm removing that one. I'm not picking it. I'm not picking it. Yeah, pick that one. Yeah, I think I'm going to pick this one. Why, I don't know, but if I'm not going to pick it at all, it would be because of this thing in the background. But what I'm going to do is, I'm definitely sure with generative AI, I can remove that, so it's not going to be a problem. And also, I'm not sure I even like the way the bright mouth is there. Okay, I'll pick this one instead. Then I'm going to remove this one. So I press 0 to remove it or to clear the color coding. Now, see what I did? We just interchanged it. I'm now shooting from the other side, from their right hand now. I love this one particularly. They're both laughing. They're into each other. This one is leading the way properly. I love the way they're looking at themselves here. So I'm going to pick that picture too. You see, I'm picking a lot of pictures in this mix because it could be, it's just one pose. It's just one pose. However, you have different variations, so which make a lot of sense. I don't know. Do you want something? Okay, so two of them just standing, and I just pick one of it. That's all. Then I don't know what's always wrong with my camera. It has this thing on it. Can you help me close that door? Yes, thank you. Okay, so I love this picture. Funny enough, I didn't see it when she did that. I wish I could zoom in. How do I zoom in? Oh damn! How do I zoom in? Full screen mode. So I wouldn't know if you guys can see how she tongued out here. I didn't see it. I promise you, I didn't see it in the picture. But because I was shooting so fast, I was shooting very fast, and I was just moving my body. That picture makes sense. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep this one. If I'd used like 2.8, here I'm on 1.4. If you can see my camera setting at the top here. You can see my camera setting at the top here. Probably if I'd used 1.4, I probably would have been able to. I probably would have been able to, what's the name now? use this picture because there will be blur in the background. They will be part of the depth of field. However, just trying to increase my aspect ratio, but I'm not sure it's possible. All right, but as the matter is now, I can't do that, so we just keep picking. Oh, someone said we can see it. That's beautiful. I love that. I like this picture. It's more like they're very committed to each other. That's like the theme of that picture. Commitment to each other. Yeah. Now, see, I told you guys again, same pose. I just changed the head of the bride. So I'll tell the groom to retain, I would say, husband, don't move your body. Then wife, just turn your head to me. Then you get this pose. Exactly this pose. So I'm going to pick that. Then brought them to the front of the thing again, looking at themselves. No biggie. There's no biggie yet. I wouldn't know if you guys remember the singular picture I took of the groom, of the bride, with the two telephone poles showing. I tried to do that same thing again here, but it didn't work. I tried to do it again here, it didn't work. But I think I like this picture. They were laughing and both into each other. She's looking down here, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah, there's a bit of a close-up on that effect. I love this picture. And I saw it somewhere on Instagram, something like this on Instagram, but it wasn't a picture. They were praying, so the bride does not want to see the groom, or the groom doesn't want to see the bride yet. So they did this thing where they held their hands at the corner of a building and they were praying. It was so romantic, so I thought to try it. And now with a telephone booth, which makes a lot of sense. Then I love this husband in the background kind of effect. Or yeah, the groom in the background kind of effect. Now this is me trying to shoot through the hand, like the open arm of the groom, just for the groom to pocket his hand a little bit, so I can have that space between his elbow and his body. Then I shoot through that. Just walk to your husband here. Then she did this thing where she's trying to block his, but I didn't get it. I'm sorry. So it's not it's not everything you're gonna get, but try to get everything. But I missed that one. But I think if it was cool, I'd probably have told them to do it again. I mean, I had time to do that. Then I brought the groom back to that same location. Then we took these pictures, which makes sense. So guys, we need your engagement. We have 14 people on this view right now. We need your engagement. So if you can click like, if you can like it, or you can thumbs up, it's going to let me understand that you guys are viewing it and you guys are loving it. So thumbs up, like it, and if you can share with friends or anyone, will make a lot of sense. Let me see if I can share it. It's copied now. Let me see if I can share it. Let me try to share this to Facebook and see who wants to join in. Then I come back. So I'm back to you guys now. Okay, I think that's the last picture. That's the last picture I took for that day. That was the last picture I took for that day. So now the next thing you want to do is just to yeah, I'm going to post, just give me guys give me 1 minute. I'm just going to post it on some groups on Facebook so people can join in. I just posted it on Facebook so people can join in. So I'm back now. So now I'm done picking on my pictures. You guys saw how fast that is. If I'm not trying to explain, I'll probably have used 30 seconds to explain everything. If not that I was trying to explain, I'll probably have used 30 seconds to explain everything, but I was just trying to explain. So I'll close that window, then I'm back to the first interface. Then only thing I'm going to do is just come to the top here. I see that empty space. If you can see that top, and you see that empty space at the top where you have yellow, we have red, yellow, green, blue, purple, magenta, cyan, brown, black. Then you see that hide non-colors. So out of all the pictures, I've successfully picked this ones. Out of all the pictures, so these are my peaks. So how do I get to this peak? I basically just hide. So by clicking that, I just hid, if that's the right English, but I have unchecked every picture that doesn't have a color. So what I've done now is, what you can see are only pictures that have colors, and as it stands, red is the only color we've used to select these pictures. So the next thing I'm going to do is just highlight everything. This thing is blocking my view, this camera is blocking my view, so I'm going to shift it a little bit around. I highlight everything like that. Then I come into that same folder, I'll click it, I right click, and I say new folder inside this folder. Then I'm going to name this folder peaked. So when I name that folder peaked, I right click on the folder I've renamed peaked, and I say move selected items here. Then you wait for the pictures to move. Do you understand what I just did? Do you guys understand what I just did? Let me know if you understand what I just did. Let me know if you understand what I just did. So I first, after picking all the pictures, I pointed red to the pictures I want to pick. So after pointing red to the pictures I want to pick, so we've moved everything. After pointing red to the pictures I want to pick, the next thing I want to do, or the next thing I did, is to go to the primary folder where we have all the pictures in the first place. Then I created a new folder in that primary folder called peaked. So I named the new folder peaked. So from the new folder named peaked, the next thing I did was to move all the selected pictures into the peaked folder. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to take all those pictures and move them and edit them inside Lightroom. So select all. I'm going to right click, then go to edit selected pictures with Lightroom Classic. Do you want to edit all pictures in Lightroom? Yes. So I will just wait for Lightroom to populate the pictures. Yeah, so Lightroom will come in with the pictures like that. So the next thing you want to do, instead of you need to come to the top here of your Lightroom. You see copy as DNG, copy, move, or add. All I'm just going to do is just click on my add. So because if you use copy, that means you're duplicating the pictures twice. If you do move, that means you're moving it away from the folder you initially created called peaked. But with this, yeah, we can see it's beautiful. So, but with why is this thing covering me? My face wasn't covering it before. We understand. Will you upload and the video so we can rewatch it? Yeah, the video will be available for rewatch. I'm going to just tweak this up a bit. I wasn't covering this a bit. Something I've messed up with my camera when I was trying to move it around, but it's okay now, I guess. So now you see copy as DNG. No, you see copy, you see move. Go straight into the portrait. So I'm going to start with the editing of the portrait. So welcome to Lightroom, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing I noticed in this portrait is the lines are not straight. That means there's something wrong with the... So I go to the develop module. I noticed that the lines are not straight, so let me see what I can do to that. I'll probably just come down and change my lens profile. 1 second. I'll just change my lens profile. Let me just bend this a little bit. I'll change my lens profile. Move camera. I changed my lens profile. Let me just use auto first. Auto did that balancing well. I need to change my lens profile. That's what I'm trying to do. So come to lens correction, remove acrobatic, then enable profile correction. You see that line is a little bit straight now. Let me do manual. Distortion, I think it didn't work, so I'll just leave it on the profile. So I've removed chromatic aberration and I've enabled profile correction. And the reason I did that is because, okay, I need to move this away from here. Sorry guys. So I'm moving this one to the top. So just make it easier for you guys to see. Does that make sense now? All right. So first thing I did when I came in, I noticed that the lines on the staircase are not straight, which means there's a deformity in my lens compression. So the first thing I did after that is to come to lens correction, then I made everything in auto. I enabled lens profile correction and I enabled chromatic aberration, remove chromatic aberration, and I came all the way down to transformation and I picked auto. So this basically what this is going to do is just to make the picture a little bit straight, so you don't have a bent picture. It makes it straight. Say good. Somebody say good. Now next thing I want to do is just come to any of my presets and see which one I'm going to use. So the camera here is covering my screen. No, I don't know what to do. I need my presets. Let me see if I can do it this way. Okay, I think this makes sense. If you guys can see me, it makes sense. So I have this. The color is a little bit too cool. I have this natural look. This is a very basic natural look if you don't want to take any risk, but risk is part of what I do. So next thing I want to do is I think I'm going to just use my bloom orange. So this is what I'm going to be using, bloom orange and skin. So that's what I'm going to be using. Then bloom orange has another variation called bloom orange skin with AI, but I'm only using bloom orange skin. Every other AI thing I'm going to be doing it myself. And then next thing I want to do after picking a suiting preset for the picture, you see with a preset I'm hardly doing any hard work, because the way I shoot, I try to make my picture a step darker than usual. I think I've explained this before. Making your pictures a step darker makes sense. It does really help you. The advantage of that is just it helps you. Okay. 1 second. I'm just trying to check. Then the next thing I want to do is just crop. My crop is always 4:5 or 8:10. Get that crop right. Balance this up a little bit more. I'll just remove this bird a little bit, then bring this one back in a little bit. I will leave a little bit of room at the bottom part here so my logo can sit somewhere there. I'll click OK. Then next thing is I'm going to pick my, guys, I'm using a lot of shortcuts, so you probably just see with one shortcut you see what I'm doing. Yeah, so I pick a shortcut. I don't know where it is on here, but I'm just trying to create a mask. I'll mask in like this. I'll reduce brightness or exposure. Then I create another mask, a masking like this, just a little bit to the head of the groom. I reduce exposure and masking from the top like that, and I reduce exposure. So that settles it. So we have our before and our after. Before and after. We have our before and our after, before and after. So that's where we are now. I'll crop again. I think the picture is a little bit bent. I'll do that again. Yeah, I think it's a bit straight now. So we have our before and our after. Next thing what I want to do is this. So if you don't have AI capability with your with your Lightroom, this might be a little bit difficult. I'm going to come here, create another mask, then select subject. Then I'm going to invert the subject. Then I'm going to just darken the background a little bit. Yeah, so darken the background a little bit. Open up shadows. I don't want any drama in the background, so open up the shadows a little bit. So I have this now, before and after. You see, by just using few settings, we already got our pictures to a reasonable, desirable result. Next thing I want to do is, let me just zoom in a little bit. I'm just zooming in a little bit so I can get the face of the groom. Is everything all right at home? Yes, everything is good. I think that's that. Then the next thing I want to do is select this particular picture, then use my shift button to select a few more pictures in that regard. So I'm going to just click select, then I'm going to sync all settings. So I'm syncing the crop. I'm not syncing the mask because I'll be creating different masks for different picture. So I'll just sync that, and I'll just use my key to start designing like that. So you guys can see this picture. These are our before and these are our after. I'll reduce brightness just a little bit. I need to remove my glasses, guys. I'm done picking, so I can use my Kurokuro eyes to do this. Before and after. I'm loving it. Open up exposure a little bit. So now I'm just using Shift M to create this mask. I prick that like that. I increase exposure, then down my green a little bit. Yeah, then I'm going to come to that same mask, click on it, then duplicate mask and invert it. Then I'm going to reduce the brightness. Then we have this. So before and after. Then I'm going to reduce the overall like that. So before and after. Somebody sent me a chat. I can't read the chat now because I'm just moving my camera around. Could you please explain what you said by underexposure again? So what I said is, I love my pictures to be a little bit underexposed when I'm shooting it, because when you shoot a little bit underexposed means that you have the tendency of retaining more details. So shadows retain more details than highlight. So I try to reduce the exposure of my camera by one stop when I'm shooting. Alright, so that is good. Move to the next picture. This is a little bit overexposed. Reduce my exposure, increase the shadow before and after. Done that. Then I'm coming to reduce my red. If you guys notice, there's a lot of red in this picture. I reduce my red, then reduce the brightness on the red, make it a little bit more edgy. So we have a before and after, which makes sense. So we have our before and after. Where's our after? These are our before and these are our after. Make a lot of sense. I reduce the temperature. I'm going to reduce the temperature here. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to bring in one mask. I'll mask through that and I reduce the exposure of that overall. Then I mask from a side here to just blend into a little bit, reduce the exposure overall. That. Then before and after. I love before and after because it just makes you understand what you're doing essentially. Yeah, so that's where I am now. We have a before and my after. I kind of like it. So moving forward. Okay. You see, this is blown out. I will just reduce that, then come back, get my balancing right in that area. It still be back, not straight. I think it's straight now. Get my balancing right. Open my, then reduce my. Just sometimes what I do is I can just use the eyedropper tool here to click on a white surface. Then I can get a more preferred white balance. Yeah. So when I have that kind of white balance, I can open up my shadows completely, down my dark. Babe, can you give me juice? Thank you. Are you guys learning anything? It's going to be fast. I might not probably edit other pictures in this live. Down it a little bit. Then sometimes I'll just do this. I'll create this. I'll dump it on there, invert it. Then I'm going to reduce exposure overall. Then I'm going to duplicate this. Then increase brightness overall. So we have our before and our after. I didn't do too much, but it makes sense like this, if you understand. It just makes sense like this. Thank you. You guys join me. Okay. Before and after. Now, since I've gotten the perfect setting on that particular picture, and I know they are all in the same setting, I'm going to synchronize the pictures again. So the next picture we have almost same setting as that. Easy, yeah. So now I don't really need to go heavy on editing this. But what I've noticed now is because I synchronized the crop, some of the crops were not properly done. So we have before and after. Before and after. Red is prominent. I open up my overall exposure now. The next thing I want to do is just to do this. That I'll introduce a little bit of light from this angle. I'm going to reduce the flow, bring it up to the head, and turn it, let it come like a light flooding from the side. So we have our before and our after. So that is how you can. Then I'm going to kill the light from coming from this end. I'll kill it coming from this end. Just reduce the exposure like that. Just to give it more focus. I'm going to drop the lights coming from the head too, and that solves that. Are we still here? So we have our before and we have our after. Editing is entirely about preference, yeah. So I know some of you say, I prefer the before, but editing is entirely about preference. But if you prefer the before, is it that you have eye problem or your eye is paining you? Then I move to the next one. This image is too cropped, so I'm going to come back to my crop. I'm going to make it a freestyle cropping because I need it. This is what my intentions were for this picture. See that freestyle cropping makes sense with this one. I'm just trying to change I'm trying to change my preset. I know there's a new one I did recently that makes sense. Bloom orange. No, not you. Shit. New bloom red, not this one. So I will stick to this. My phone is dying. My phone is dying. So give me 1 minute. I'll be back. Just give me a few seconds. Alright, I am back. Alright, I'm back now. Alright, so I have a lot of wires around my table right now because I'm just trying to charge everything simultaneously, but that's not a problem. Alright, so I have that. The background is well opened up. I'm going to reduce that. Come on a green a little bit. Then we have our before and we have our after. It's all about the skin tone and the colors, trying to retain a little bit of it, but then I'm paying huge attention to the skin tone. Yeah, so here what I'm going to do is just press Shift M. Then I'm going to brush over that like that. I'm going to invert it. I'm going to drop the exposure overall on that. So we have this. Open up my exposure a little bit. So we have this. Yeah. I love this picture so much. I really, really love this picture. Yeah. So now let me show you guys something. I'll just do. I'm going to go select background on this picture. Select background on this picture, then reduce exposure on it. I reduce exposure of the background. Yeah, so I reduce, let me just crop it again. I've reduced exposure of the background. I will just do that. Then the cropping is done. Reduce exposure on the background. What else I'm going to do to this picture now? I think I'm partially done. So guys, what I'm going to try is I'm just going to see what lens blur can give me. So I click on lens blur. Let's see if it can help me out just to blur the background a little bit. So I think it delivered a beautiful image. So let me show you guys the before and the after. So we have before and we have after. Can you see the picture now? What we've achieved is we've made the picture stand out rather than having this very blank settled in picture. We've made it stand out of the background, which make a lot of sense. Yeah. So we do the same thing for this image. I'm just going to go that. I'm going to increase the brightness a little bit. Then I'm going to duplicate this and reduce brightness overall. Yeah, that way. Then I'm going to just go to my lens blur. I'm going to apply lens blur. Just wait for it to do its magic. I think it's done. That was so fast. So we have our before and our after. So we have a before and after, before and after, before and after, which make a lot of sense. Up next is the news at 10. Somebody's asking me questions. It takes me a little bit of time to read the comments because I'm really focused on trying to get the pictures out. Yeah. This picture is also very nice. I'm trying to get the crop right. I think the crop is perfect. I'll remove the Santander behind, so we can just have this. We can have this telephone pole alone. I don't mind the leg being cut out of the picture. I'll move this in a little bit, so we can have just the two sides of the telephone pole showing. And that's the crop. Yeah. So here, I think the best thing to do is just let me see if I can apply some lens blur to the background and see what it gets or what we get. It didn't do much. So what I'm going to do next is just to bring in shadow from this side, reduce exposure, add a little bit of this from the side, reduce exposure. Then I'm going to just duplicate that, bring it all the way in, just give me a little bit of light on their faces, just to blur out the shadows. So we have our before and our after. Our image pops better now, which makes sense. The next is this. So these images are nice. They are fire. This particular image is beautiful. I'm just going to auto balance it, bring them to the middle of the frame like that. I'm going to freestyle this crop. So I'm going to freestyle this crop like that. I think I will just have that red. I'll just have that red like that. I think that's what I'm going to do. So this is the picture. So I'm not going to, this is the picture now. Reduce it a little bit, it's too big. Yeah, I'm just going to add I will add this like this, just increase the brightness, just a little bit. Yeah, then I'm going to just try though we have enough depth of field now, but I'm just going to add a little bit and see what we have. Did it do anything? Not particularly. I'm not sure it did anything particularly, but I haven't seen your masking using the subject option. What is your take on that? Masking using the subject option. Whichever one you use is alright. Either the subject option or you use the, what did I just do? You can use the subject option or you can use I usually just use the background option because a lot of time I'm trying to target the background. A lot of time I'm just trying to target the background, so I use the background option, not the subject. But you can use the subject if you want, if that's what you're trying to get. It doesn't really make any difference actually. So this one, I'm going to leave this image like this. I think I like the crop. Just going to balance it up. I'll just use auto here, then give that crop. I like the way it's hedgy, it's on one edge, so I put it in like that. I wish there's something here. I wish there's some red at the bottom part just to cover it up, but let me see what I can do in Photoshop, if I can do that in Photoshop. I'll brighten it up a little bit, and that's it. Increase the brightness of this image. You see, let me just try this image in black and white. No, let me try it. Let me try this one in black and white, then darken from here to here. I'll reduce the exposure well, then I do one more, darken from here to here. I'll reduce the exposure well, then I'll darken from bottom to top like that. I reduce the exposure well, then we have this before and after. Do you guys love it? thumbs up if you guys are learning anything, and if so you can help the algorithm to reach more people. Thank you. You can share with friends. If you joined me when I was scrolling through the pictures, you will see this particular picture. I love it. When I was calling it. So this will not take away from the picture. All I'm going to do is bring that up, just brighten up that side of the picture a little bit, then just expose the picture a little bit more, reduce that. Then I think it's going to be better in black and white. Sincerely, be better in black and white. Crop it properly. Get the proper crop. Get the proper crop on the picture like that. It just makes sense. Get the crop on the picture like that. It makes sense. Yeah. So before and after. Before and after. Before and after. I don't want to do too much on this picture. Or if I'm going to do anything else, I'm going to probably just use my brush. I'll use my brush to, I will just paint on this side of their face, and I increase the exposure. Don't want to spoil it, because sometimes when you like pictures so much, you would over edit them and just destroy them. So now this is the picture. Man, what else do we want? What else do we want from this picture that is not giving us? Perfect picture, guys. Perfect picture, guys. People have got, you can do well to share. And the next thing is I come back here, then I'm going to copy. So I'm copying the setting on this picture, and I'm coming here and I'm pasting it. Open up exposure. Before and after. Let me see my crop. Auto. I need that full, so I need that space, which makes sense. So what I'm going to do now is bring up that, and I'm going to hit it from the front. Just expose it a little bit from the front, just that midway alone. This one I'm not trying to target their faces. From the back, reduce exposure, and that solves it. What I want to do, listen, what I want to do with this image is just to see if I can. This is just me working through the process and just thinking out loud the way I will edit every normal wedding. This is a normal wedding. This is how I'm going to deliver the wedding to the client. So I'm doing everything I usually do. So this is you practically behind the scene of how I process my pictures. Beautiful. So by adding a little bit of lens blur to this, it just makes the pictures pop and just make sense. So cat eye, reduce the cat eye. Boost, reduce my boost. So what you can do extra is, somebody said select subjects now. I'm going to select background, then I'm going to reduce exposure on the background just a little bit, just a little bit like that. Then we have our before and we have our after. Let me zoom it in so you can see it properly. We have our before and we have our after. Can you guys see it? There are no cutting corners here. There are no one is cutting corners here. Straight out of camera to photo mechanic to Lightrrom, and this is what I do. This is what the clients are going to get. So when I'm done with this one, if you guys notice the film strip at the bottom, you see that all those pictures are almost the same. So what I'm going to do is just shift and click. Then I'm going to synchronize. So, but this time I'm going to synchronize. I'm going to synchronize the third mask, not the second, not the third. I'm going to synchronize the third mask and my lens blur. It's going to take a little bit of time to complete this process, because now I'm applying lens blur to the background, and I'm applying lens blur to the background, and I'm also doing what? And I'm also applying mask across board. So it's going to lend or pick each picture individually and apply those settings on the pictures. So if you guys have any questions, this is the best time while this is loading. This is the best time you need to ask me. You need to ask me those questions. This is the best time to ask me those questions. So usually when this is happening, this is the distraction I was praying against. When something like this is happening, I'm trying to call through picture like this. Next thing is for me to just pick my phone and just scroll through Instagram. So people on YouTube, if you're enjoying the video, kindly share. If you're enjoying the video, kindly share. I'm just trying to get a little bit of engagement from people. So if you get more engagement, we get more engagements, guys. Okay, I think that's done. Kindly share, thumbs up, like the video, put some love on it. I don't know how it works. Put some love on it. If you give us some thumbs up, also share to your friends. Share to your friends. Okay, good. Our what's the name is done. So our synchronizing is done. We just need to touch base with Lightroom again and see what he has done. I told you guys Lightroom is slow. So next thing, I will just come here. You see this picture is a little bit overexposed. Reduce that, which makes sense. Before, why is this slow now? Come on, why is my Lightroom loading? That's strange. Strange things are happening. All right. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I just need to accommodate the shoe. If you see at the bottom part, the shoe wasn't accommodated in the shot. My Lightroom is doing anyhow now. I think the next picture too need to be treated with some level of exposure reduction. What is happening, guys? What's happening to my Lightroom now? So reduce the exposure on this one. I don't know why it's lagging. Anyways, my Lightroom is lagging now. I don't know why. Shit. So I think that's perfect. We bring up the highlight a little bit. Yeah, bring up the exposure a little bit too. Then we'll move to the next picture. For some weird reasons, I'm not liking this picture again, so I'm going to delete it. So press delete and enter. I'm going to delete that. So I'm deleting this picture. I don't like it anymore. I don't know why. It doesn't just speak to me. This is also to say that it's not every picture that you pick initially that you get to edit. it's not all the pictures you pick that you get to edit, which makes sense. So I think something is wrong here. Can you see what is wrong on that side? So you need to also shine your eyes. It just makes that picture bad. So what I'm going to do is just to remove the blur. Then we'll go back to normal. So I remove the blur in the background and we went back to normal. So this is what we're going to just use for this particular picture. Yeah, that's how we're going to do that. So we're not using any blur effect on this particular picture here. We still have that edge. The edges on this picture is rough. So what I'm going to do is just reduce the blur, then recrop the picture. You're going to just recrop the picture. I can't okay, I think I can go 100% on the crop because I don't know how my hand shook when I was doing that. Then reduce the blur. Yeah, I think I've done that. Reduce the blur a little bit more. Then I'm going to just reduce the exposure. If you see that the clothes is blown out, so I'm going to reduce the exposure and open up my shadows. Bring up the white a little bit. No, reduce the highlights completely. Bring down the white a little bit and open up the exposure again. Open up the exposure again. I think that's right about there. It's perfect. Then I'm going to get the balancing again, just to get it right. I will use the bottom of the staircase as a straightener. Enter that. What else am I doing? Guys, I'm getting tired. Yeah, I think that's good. I'm going to reduce the lens blur. I think the lens blur is doing more harm than good now in this instant. Because if you see the highs, the high area of the image here, you see that has been taken away. You see that part there, it wasn't done properly. So AI is still learning. So AI is not the organ of the picture. It's just helping you. So you don't just subcontract everything to AI and let it do things, but you also need to monitor the process and what it's doing, so you don't make mistakes and deliver wrong pictures for your clients, So we have our before and our after. This picture I'm going to just down the magenta a little bit so we can keep that skin pop a bit. Yeah. I'm deleting this picture. Delete, enter to delete. I'll just delete, enter to delete. So, review on tech. Good. All right, guys. This is the end of the session today. We've been on this for 1 hour. It's the end of today's session. What we're going to do next is I'm going to finish these pictures and I'm going to upload this video. Then you guys can view it and watch it again, share with friends, share with your photography friends or photographer friends that might need this, how to call and edit with Lightrrom. And to buy my preset, the link is on my bio. To buy my preset, the link is on my bio. You can also do that. Thank you guys. So I'll see you in the next one. Stay active, be shooting, and Godspeed.